Hi everyone. Today we're going to study polar coordinates of a point. In polar coordinate system, the coordinates of a point P in a plane are its distance from a fixed point called pole or origin and its direction from a fixed line called polar axis. In our figure here, this is the point that is called the pole or origin. This line here is the polar axis. The distance from the pole to the point P is the radius denoted by r. This is the r. The angle theta is called the polar angle. This is the theta. The notation r, theta is used to denote a point and is called polar coordinates. This is the point denoted by r theta. The pole O has polar coordinates 0, theta for any theta. As usual, theta is considered positive if the angle is generated by a counterclockwise rotation of the polar axis. In our figure here, the theta is positive and negative if the rotation is clockwise. This is another figure with the theta being generated clockwise and it is negative. So the polar coordinates become r, negative theta. Let us plot the following polar coordinates. Number 1, 5, 30 degrees. Number 2, 2, 90 degrees. Number 3, 4, negative 45 degrees. Number 4, negative 3, negative 15 degrees. This is the polar coordinate system. Let us now plot the first point, 5, 30 degrees. First, let us locate the 30 degrees. Since that is positive, we will do it on a counterclockwise direction. So this is the 30 degrees and we will plot 5 units for the radius. So now this is the point 5, 30 degrees. The next point is 2, 90 degrees. Let us plot the 90 degrees on a counterclockwise direction. This is the 90 degrees. And let us now put the radius with 2 units. So the point 290 degrees is here. The third point is 4, negative 45 degrees. The angle here is negative, so we will generate a clockwise rotation of angle. So the angle will be here. And then let us find the radius of 4 units. The point 4, negative 45 degrees is here. Last point is the negative 3, negative 15 degrees. The angle is negative. Again, we will generate a clockwise direction. This is the angle negative 15 degrees. And let us find a radius with 3 units. But this is a negative radius. It means to say we're going to track the 3 units on the opposite direction. So the point -3, -15 degrees is here. These are the final answers. Let us discuss uniqueness of polar coordinates. The polar coordinates r theta of a point are not unique. Adding any number of full turns, that is 360 degrees, to the angular coordinate does not change the corresponding direction. Similarly, any polar coordinate is identical to the coordinate with a negative radial component and the opposite direction, which means adding 180 degrees to the polar angle. Therefore, the same point r theta can be expressed with an infinite number of different polar coordinates. Limiting the angle value within the range -360 degrees to 360 degrees, a polar coordinates r theta can be expressed in three other ways, such as the first is r, theta minus 360 degrees. Number 2, negative r, 180 degrees plus theta. And the third is negative r, theta minus 180 degrees. Let us see this example. Express the polar coordinates 5, 30 degrees in three other ways. First, let us draw our polar coordinate system, and then let us plot the given point. The angle is positive 30 degrees, so we generate the angle in counterclockwise direction. This is the angle, and let us put the radius 5. So the point 5, 30 degrees is the red dot here. Now, let us express this point in three other ways. Using the pattern of number 1, the first polar coordinates is 5, negative 330 degrees. Take note that the negative sign means we're going to generate a clockwise direction of an angle. So if we go negative 330 degrees, it will stop here, and the radius 5 gives exactly the same point here. Let's go to number 2. The point is negative 5, 210 degrees. Let us plot this point. A positive 210 means we're going to generate this in a counterclockwise direction. The 210 is here, but the radius is negative 5. Looking for a radius 5, but in an opposite direction, the same point is described in here. So this is the same point. For the third polar coordinates, we have negative 5, negative 150 degrees. Let us generate this point. The angle is negative, so it will be generated on a clockwise direction. The 150 will stop here, and then the negative 5 radius will eventually describe the same point, that is the 5, 30 degrees. These are the final answers. I hope you learned something from this video. See you again next time.